Today we're going to be taking a look at how AI is replacing white-collar work.
Artificial intelligence could replace millions of jobs.
The new threat to jobs is artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence could replace the equivalent of 300 million full-time
Many
jobs.
top experts have signed a statement warning of the risks of artificial intelligence.
How long until the machines replace us, take our jobs?
60% of workers are worried about losing their jobs to AI.
As many as 14 million jobs will be lost to AI technology over the next 5 years.
AI will be, at the same time, a replacement for blue-collar, white-collar jobs.
It's 100% going to affect the average white-collar worker, those individuals that do information jobs.
With the rise of artificial intelligence having more and more of a role in our lives.
There's no question artificial intelligence will remake the workplace.
Robots will be able to do everything better than us.
Here's how AI is already taking over tasks at white-collar jobs.
Let's take a look at this video and see how AI is going to mess up the average white-collar worker.
The idea of robots taking human jobs might bring to mind a scene like this. But it's not hardware that has white-collar workers concerned. It's rapidly advancing software, since artificial intelligence is doing a lot more than finishing emails.
Perhaps the biggest nightmare is the looming new industrial revolution.
The erosion of the middle class, already one of America's most serious problems, could get much worse with AI if we ignore it.
I don't know what we're gonna do with Congress in general. Shout out to Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, but they aren't quick enough in order to really regulate AI. They don't really understand the technology. They're not going home and playing with it and using it in their everyday lives. So I would say regulation is not gonna go well, at least in my opinion.
Generative AI can auto-complete your sentences, write feature-length films, or organize your calendar. And tools using it, like ChatGPT, are taking on an increasing role in white-collar work. They can create first drafts of documents, presentations, images, video, and product designs. Currently, 25% of work tasks could be automated by AI in the US, according to Goldman Sachs research.
25% of work could be done by AI. Now that's true. I'm seeing that in my day-to-day work. I do technology sales. Previously, let's call it about a year or two ago, I would write sales copy or write an offer or proposal as a rough draft, let it sit, and then I'd come back that evening or the next day and I would write the final draft. Fast forward, ChatGPT can get me started with a rough draft. It's not in final format, but it gives me a decent outline to start from. It's probably shaved at least 2 hours a week off of my task. With generative AI and tools like ChatGPT, it's eliminated some of the administrative tasks that are prerequisites to help get a business outcome.
AI helped make this ad, and this one too. The company advertised here said creating the image for this AI-generated ad cost about 10 times less than traditional methods.
$50,000 to $100,000, I guess you gotta factor in man hours to create, draw, or generate this ad. If you eliminate that and you already get a few mock-ups and you're just editing those markups and getting close to the final concept, that's a big reduction. The business is gonna start to look at that contract as ways to save money. Hey, I'm paying you $100,000 or $200,000 as my ad director. However, we're producing the same results in 10x less time. You either take a reduction or we have to give you more tasks or more things to do in order to still provide the same value to the business. I think that's what we've been talking about, Olivia, is just the fact that you can't just do the same task and get paid the same amount anymore. You have to do more complex tasks, wear many hats in order to still be effective moving forward. What do you think?
So when it comes to especially advertising and graphic design, it's so important, like you said, to have many hats, because all these programs now, like Adobe, ChatGPT, can do complete marketing ads for you from start to finish with just a couple of edits. So I'm seeing it more and more now where it's good that you have those skills, but you need to start developing in other ones. I'm looking at developing other skills myself as someone who is in that kind of industry of creative online. It's just something I feel like you're going to have to be constantly doing now with AI becoming more popular and more available on different tools.
So I guess in layman's terms, shit moving fast, you got to get off your ass. You're going to either sink or you're going to swim.
It goes beyond creating images. Alphabet is now using AI to run anti-money laundering surveillance programs at banks like HSBC, and says it's cutting out human error.
And when the transactional data and illicit behaviors change, as they do, So does the AML AI engine.
Once again, like if AI is stepping in and now doing security for banks, now do you need a security consultant when you have AI taking a look at all the outputs where there could be breaches and then using machine learning to make recommendations? That's another industry that you can add onto the pile. So now we're up to the entertainment industry, technology, graphic designers, artists, art directors, copywriters. It's adding up here.
For some tech companies, AI is contributing to job cuts. A May report said nearly 4,000 tech workers lost their jobs to AI. Artificial intelligence is also eliminating future positions. Take IBM as an example. Its CEO said the company could replace workers with AI.
I do believe that AI is going to replace a lot of what I'm calling white-collar clerical jobs. So the ones that are much more repetitive, the ones where people do the same task again and again and again, I think a good 30% of those roles could go away over 5 years.
That's a good way to look at it. If what you're doing is repetitive and it's a simple task, that job most likely is going to go away. And that's what our boy Arvind Krishna is talking about in this video. Like as I'm watching this video, it's almost like super meta. Like I'm watching it, but I'm also like, do I have enough skill sets to be able to produce more value moving forward, like in the world? And if not, what are those gaps and how do I fill those gaps? I'm reacting, but I'm also watching and I'm also thinking with you, the viewer.
An IBM spokesman said the company was still hiring for thousands of positions.
I think that what we've seen in past deployments of AI is that it's frequently used as a justification for layoffs, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is effectively replacing what human workers are capable of, or that it's increasing workers' productivity.
Dropbox laid off 16% of its workforce in April, but not to replace workers. Like IBM, it said it wanted to invest more in AI, which meant cutting elsewhere.
So we see demand growing for these products a lot faster than we could have anticipated. And I think you could have seen the technology coming, but just the way that the interest went vertical is something that's way ahead of schedule from our expectations.
In some of my previous videos, I've talked about the tech layoffs and some of the reasons. Mark Zuckerberg calling this the age of efficiency. Google had a series of layoffs, as well as a lot of other tech companies, and that was due to the impending doom of recession. Dropbox is a good example where they're laying off 16% of the workforce and taking that money to invest in AI or to invest in future projects. So while AI may not be directly replacing jobs, there needs to be investment in the new technology. And if that money is invested in workers with the current skill set, those companies probably feel like they'll get left behind. Just something to think about.
AI's role in television and film production is a key point of negotiations between the Writers Guild of America and the studios. Speaking to the Wall Street Journal about the strike, the co-showrunner for The Handmaid's Tale laid out the writers' union's concerns.
You know, we could tell from the negotiations that the studios had a plan, and we could deduce that that plan was probably one writer in a room with one or two machines creating an entire show.
Studios have said they're committed to discussing the use of AI with the WGA.
Not only can a job be eliminated or replaced, there's also the fact of work not being enjoyable. Going from a writing room of 8 writers where you're bouncing off creative ideas to getting a ChatGPT script of a movie and you're just editing that with 1 or 2 writers. I deduce that you won't get the same quality art that you would from a more robust set. And that makes me think of how much that applies to other industries. If the output is just good enough, if it's 70% of what an expert will produce, and that's just good enough, is still being executed upon and bringing in business money, the white-collar jobs or the workforce that we're looking at today is gonna change even more drastically. Takeaways for this video. Capitalism is going to take over. AI is going to be unstoppable because either we're going to speed up how AI is integrated into our systems, or we're going to give that right to another country, China, Russia, etc. To me, it's like almost like the new nuclear arms race. Point number 2, the days of just learning a job or going to college and learning a job and doing that job and getting paid well for it because you came from a good college or you had a certain skill set, that's now eliminated. Most of us are gonna have to put on multiple hats and do multiple things. Those people who can combine those multiple skill sets will keep a job. Those who just wanna do one thing and be good at one thing, if AI can do that thing, it's going to get eliminated. The last takeaway is there's a lot of money to be made in AI. If you can learn AI prompts, if you can learn how to integrate AI into your workflow, you can save time and be more productive. Or if you're investing in AI, you can also make a lot of money. While there are a lot of risk for white collar workers, there's also a lot of opportunity in the near future for people to become financially affluent or possibly get rich. If you like content like this, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.